apocryphal book, Testaments of the 12 Patriarchs. Aid, Leviy, the third son of Jacob and Leah. This is the copy of the words of Leviy, the things which he ordained unto his sons, according to all they should do, and what things should befall them until the day of judgment. He was sound in health, and when he called to him, for it had been revealed to him that he should die. And when they were gathered together, he said unto them, I, Leviy, was born in Haran, and I came with my father to Shechem, and I was young, about 20 years of age, when, with Shimon, I wrought vengeance on Camor for our sister Danah. And when I was feeding the flocks in Avomaol, the Ruah of understanding of Yahweh came upon me, and I saw all men corrupting their ways, and that unrighteousness had built for itself walls, and Torahlessness sat upon towers. And I was grieving for the race of the sons of men. I prayed to Yahweh that I might be saved. There then fell upon me a sleep, and I beheld a high mountain, and I was upon it. And behold, the heavens were opened, and an angel of Eluah said unto me, Leviy, enter. And I entered from the first heaven. I saw there a great sea hanging, and further I saw a second heaven, far brighter and more brilliant, for there was a boundless light also therein. And I said to the angel, Why is this so? And the angel said to me, Marvel not at this, for you shall see another heaven, and more brilliant and incomparable. And when you have ascended thither, you shall stand near Yahweh, and shall be his minister, and shall declare his mysteries to men, and shall proclaim concerning him that shall redeem Yasharel. By you in Yehuda shall Yahweh appear among men, saving every race of men. And from Yahweh's portion shall be your life, and he shall be your field and vineyard and fruits, gold and silver. Hear therefore regarding the heavens which have been shown to you. The lowest is for this cause gloomy unto you, in that it beheld all the unrighteous deeds of men. It has fire, snow, and ice made ready for the day of judgment, and the righteous judgment of Eluah, for in it are all the ruahs of the retributions for vengeance on men. And in the second are the hosts of the armies, which are ordained for the day of judgment, to work vengeance on the ruah of deceit and of Baal, and above them are the holy ones. And in the highest of all dwells the great glory, far above all sacredness, all hallowedness. In the heaven next to are the arch ministers, who do minister and make propitiation to Yahweh for all the sins and of ignorance of the righteous, offering to Yahweh a sweet-smelling savor, a reasonable and bloodless offering. And in the heaven below this are messengers who bear answers to the messengers of the presence of Yahuwah. And in the heaven next to this are thrones and dominions, in which always they offer praise to Allah. When therefore Yahuwah looks upon us, all of us are shaken, yea, the heavens and the earth and the abysses are shaken at the presence of His Majesty. But the sons of men, having no perception of these things, sin and provoke Allah. Now, therefore, know that Yahuwah shall execute judgment upon the sons of men, because when the rocks are being rent, and the sun quenched, and the waters dried up, and the fire cowering, and all creation troubled, and the invisible ruahs melting away, and Sheol takes spoil through the visitations of Allah, men will be unbelieving and persist in their iniquity and lawlessness. On this account with punishment shall they be judged. Therefore, Allah has heard your prayer to separate you from iniquity, and that you should become to Him a son and a servant and a minister of His presence. The light of knowledge shall you light up in Yaqub, and as a son shall you be to all the seed of Yisrael, and there shall be given you great favor to you and all your seed, until Yahuwah shall visit all the other nations in His tender mercies forever. And therefore there have been given to you counsel and understanding, that you might instruct your sons concerning this, because they that pour their favor upon Him shall be blessed, and they that curse Him shall perish. And therefore the messenger opened up to me the gates of heaven, and I saw the hallowed temple, and upon the throne of glory Allah. And He said unto me, Leviy, I have given you all the favor of the priesthood until I come and sojourn in the midst of Yisrael. Then the messenger brought me down to earth. He gave me a shield and a sword, and said, Execute vengeance on Shechem because of Dinah, your sister, and I will be with you, because Yahuwah has sent me. And I destroyed at that time the sons of Camor, as it is written in the heavenly tablets. And I said to him, I pray you, O Yahuwah, tell me your name, that I may call upon you in the day of tribulation. And he said, I am the angel who intercedes for the nation of Yisrael, that they may not be smitten utterly, for every evil ruah attacks it. And after these things I awakened, and I blessed Allah, and the messenger who intercedes for the nation of Yisrael and for all the righteous. And when I was going to my father, I found a brazen shield, wherefore also the name of the mountain is Aspis, and it is near Gival, to the south of Abila. And I kept these words in my heart. And after this I counseled my father and Reuven, my brother, to bid the sons of Camar not to be circumcised, for I was zealous because of the abomination which they had wrought on my sister. And I slew Shechem first, and Shimon slew Camor. And after this my brothers came and smote the city with the edge of the sword. And my father heard these things and was wroth. He was grieved in that they had received the circumcision, and after that had been put to death. And in his favor he looked amiss upon us. For we sinned because we had done this thing against his will, and he was sick on that day. But I saw that the sentence of Allah was for evil upon Shechem, For they sought to do to Shara and Rebekah as they had done to Dinah, our sister. But Yahweh prevented them, and they persecuted Abram, our father, when he was a stranger, and they vexed his flocks when they were big with young, and Eblam, who was born in his house, they most shamefully handled. And thus they did to all strangers, taking away their women by force, and they banished them. But the wrath of Yahweh came upon them to the uttermost. And I said to my father Yaakov, by you will Yahuwah despoil the Canaanim, and will give their land to you and to your seed after you. From this day forward shall Shechem be called the city of imbeciles, for as a man mocks a fool, so did we mock them. Because also they had wrought folly in Yisrael by defiling my sister. And we departed and came to Bethel. And there again I saw a vision as the former, and we had spent there 70 days. And I saw 7 men in white raiment saying unto me, Arise, put on the robe of the priesthood, and the crown of righteousness, and the breastplate of understanding, and the garment of truth, and the plate of belief, and the turban of the head, and the ephod of prophecy. And they severally carried these things, and put them on me, and said unto me, From henceforth become a priest of Yahuwah, you and your seed forever. And the first anointed me with holy oil, and gave me to staff of judgment. The second washed me with pure water, and fed me with bread and wine, even the most hallowed things, and clad me with a hallowed and glorious robe. The third clothed me with linen vestment like an ephod. The fourth put round me a girdle like unto purple. The fifth gave me a branch of rich olive. The sixth placed a crown on my head. The seventh placed on my head a diadem of priesthood, and filled my hands with incense, that I might serve as priest to Yahuwah, Eluah. And they said unto me, Leviy, your seed shall be divided into 3 offices, for a sign of the glory of Yahuwah, who is to come. And the first portion shall be great, yea, greater than it shall none be. The second shall be in the priesthood, and the third shall be called by a new name, because a king shall arise in Yehudah. Because a king shall arise in Yehudah, and shall establish a new priesthood after the fashion of the other nations to all the other nations. And his presence is beloved, as a prophet of Eluah, of the seed of Abram, our father. Therefore, every desirable thing in Yisrael shall be for you, and for your seed, and you shall eat everything fair to look upon, and the table of Yahuwah shall be your seed, a portion. And some of them shall be high priests, and judges, and scribes, for by their mouth shall the sacred place be guarded. And when I awoke, I understood that this dream was like the first dream, and I hid this also in my heart. I told it not to any man upon the earth. And after 2 days, I and Yehudah went up with our father Yaakov to Yiddishek, our father's father. And my father's father, he poured his favor upon me, according to all the words of the visions which I had seen. And he would not come with us to Bethel. And when we would come to Bethel, my father saw a vision concerning me, that I should be their priest unto Eluah. And he rose early in the morning, and paid tithes of all to Yahuwah through me. And so we came to Chevron to dwell there, and Yiddishek called me continually to put me in remembrance of the Torah of Yahweh, even as the messenger of Yahuwah showed unto me. He taught me the Torah of the priesthood, of sacrifices, whole burnt offerings, first fruits, freewill offerings, peace offerings. And each day he was instructing me. He was busied on my behalf before Yahuwah, and said to me, Beware of the ruah of fornication, for this shall continue and shall by your seed pollute the sacred place. Take, therefore, to yourself a woman without blemish or pollution, while yet you are young, and not of the race of the strange nations. And before entering into the holy place, bathe, and when you offer sacrifices, wash. And again, when you finish the sacrifice, wash of 12 trees having leaves, offer to Yahuwah, as Abraham taught me also. And of every clean beast and bird offer a sacrifice to Yahuwah, and all your first fruits and a wine offer the first, and a sacrifice to Yahuwah or Eluah. And every sacrifice you shall salt with salt. Now, therefore, observe whatsoever I command you, children, for whatsoever things I have heard from my fathers have I declared unto you. And behold, I am clear from your wickedness and transgression, which ye shall commit in the end of the ages, against the Savior of the world, the Mashiach, acting wickedly, deceiving Yisrael, and stirring up against it great evils from Yahuwah. And you shall deal lawlessly together with Yisrael, so he shall not bear with Jerusalem because of your wickedness, but the veil of the temple shall be rent, so as not to cover your shame. And ye shall be scattered as captives among the other nations. Ye shall be for a reproach and for a curse there. For the house which Yahuwah shall choose shall be called Jerusalem, as is contained in the book of Hanuk the righteous. Therefore, when I took a woman, I was 28 years old, and her name was Milcah. She conceived and bore a son. I called his name Gershon, for we were sojourners in our land. And I saw concerning him that he would not be in the first rank. And Kohath was born in the 36th year of my life. Towards sunrise. And I saw in a vision that he was standing on high in the midst of all the assembly. Therefore I called his name Kohath, which is beginning of majesty and instruction. And she bore me a third son in the 40th year of my life. And since his mother bore him with difficulty, I called him Merari, that is, my bitterness, because he also was like to die. And Yocheved was born in Mitzrayim in my 64th year, for I was renowned then in the midst of my brethren. And Gershon took a woman, and she bore to him Lamini and Shememi. And the sons of Kohath, Amram, Yishakar, Sharon, Oziel, and the sons of Merari, Muli, and Moshe. And in the 94th year, Amram took Jochebed, my daughter, to him to woman, for they were born in one day, and he and my daughter. 8 years old was I when I went to the land of Canaan, and 18 years when I slew Shechem. And at 19 years I became a priest. At 28 years I took a woman, and at 48 years I went into Mitzrayim. And behold, my children, ye are a third generation in my 118th year. Yosef died. And now, my children, I command you, fear Yahuwah, your Eluah, with your whole heart. Walk in simplicity according to all his Torah. And do ye also teach your children letters, that they may have understanding all their life, reading unceasingly the Torah of Eluah. For everyone that knows the Torah of Yahweh shall be honored, and shall not be a stranger whithersoever he goes. Yea, many friends shall he gain more than his parents, and many men shall desire to serve him, and to hear the Torah from his mouth. Work righteousness, therefore, my children, upon the earth, that you may have it as a treasure in heaven, and sow good things in your souls, that you may find them in your life. But if you sow evil things, you shall reap every trouble and affliction. Get wisdom in the fear of Eluah with diligence, for though there be a leading into captivity, and cities and lands be destroyed, and gold and silver and every possession perish, the wisdom of the wise no one can take away, save the blindness of wickedness and the callousness that comes of sin. For if one keeps himself from these evil things, then even among his enemies shall wisdom be a glory unto him, and in a strange country, a fatherland, and in the midst of foes shall prove a friend. Whosoever teaches noble things and does them shall be enthroned with kings, as was also Joseph, my brother. Therefore, my children, I have learned that the end of the ages you will transgress against Yahuwah, stretching out hands to wickedness, being against him, and to all other nations you become a scorn. For our father Yisrael is pure from the transgression of the priests, who shall lay their hands upon the Savior of the world. For as the heaven is pure in Yahuwah's sight than the earth, so also be ye the lights of Yisrael, purer than all other nations. But if ye be darkened through transgressions, what, therefore, will all the other nations do, living in blindness? Yea, ye shall bring a curse upon our race, because the light of the Torah, which was given to lighten every man, this ye desire to destroy by teaching commandments contrary to the ordinances and laws of Eluah. The offerings of Yahuwah ye shall rob, and from his portion shall ye steal choice portions, eating them contemptuously with harlots. And out of covetousness you shall teach the commandments of Yahuwah. Wedded women shall you pollute, and the virgins of Jerusalem shall you defile, and with harlots and adulteresses shall you be joined, and the daughters of other nations shall you take to be your women, purifying them with an unlawful purification. And your union shall be like unto Sodom and Gomorrah, and you shall be puffed up because of your priesthood, lifting yourselves up against men, and not only so, but also against the commands of Eluah. For ye shall condemn the sacred things with jests and laughter, perverseness. Therefore, the temple which Yahweh shall choose shall be laid waste through your uncleanness, and ye shall be captives throughout all nations. You shall be an abomination unto them, and you shall receive reproach and everlasting shame from the righteous judgment of Alua. And all who hate you shall rejoice at your destruction. And if you were not to receive compassion through Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov, our fathers, not one of our seed should be left upon the earth. And now I have learned that for 70 weeks you shall go astray and profane the priesthood, pollute the sacrifices. You shall make void the Torah, and shall set at naught the words of the prophets by evil perverseness. And ye shall persecute righteous men, and hate the righteous. The words of the faithful shall ye abhor. And the man who renews the Torah and the power of Alua, you shall call a deceiver, and at last ye shall rush upon him to slay him, not knowing his dignity, taking innocent blood through wickedness upon your heads. And your sacred and hallowed places shall be laid waste, even to the ground because of him. And ye shall have no place that is clean, but ye shall be among the other nations a curse and a dispersion, until he shall again visit you, and in pity shall receive you to belief, remissions of sins, and baptism through your repentance. And whereas you have heard concerning the 70 weeks, hear also concerning the priesthood. For in each jubilee there shall be a priesthood, and in the first jubilee the first who is anointed to the priesthood shall be great, and shall speak to Alua as to a father. And his priesthood shall be perfect with Yahuwah, and in the day of his gladness shall he arise for the salvation of the world. And in the second jubilee, he that is anointed shall conceive in the sorrow of beloved ones, and his priesthood shall be honored and shall be glorified by all. And the third priest shall be taken hold of by sorrow. The fourth shall be in pain because of unrighteousness, shall gather itself against him exceedingly. And all of Yisrael shall hate each one his neighbor. The fifth shall be taken hold of by darkness, likewise also the sixth and the seventh. And the seventh shall be such pollution as I cannot express before men, for they shall not know it who do these things, for they shall know it who do these things. Therefore shall they be taken captive and become a prey, and their land and their substance shall be destroyed. And in the 5th week they shall return to their desolate country, and shall renew the house of Yahuwah. And in the 7th week shall become priests who are idolaters, breakers of wedlock, lovers of money, proud, Torahless, lascivious, abusers of children and beasts. And after their punishment shall have come from Yahuwah, the priesthood shall fail. Then shall Yahuwah raise up a new priest, and to him all the words of Yahuwah shall be revealed, and he shall execute righteous judgment upon the earth for a multitude of days. His star shall arise in the heavens as a king, lighting up the light of knowledge. His star shall arise in heaven as a king, lighting up the light of knowledge, as the sun does the day, and he shall be magnified in the world. He shall shine forth as the sun on the earth, and shall remove all darkness from under heaven, and there shall be peace in all the earth. The heavens shall exult in his days, the earth shall be glad, and the clouds shall rejoice. and the knowledge of Yahweh shall be poured forth upon the earth as water of the seas, and the messengers of glory of the presence of Yahweh shall be glad in him. The heavens shall be opened, and from the temple of the esteem shall come upon him sanctification with the Father's voice as from Abram to Yitzhak. And all the glory of Eluah shall be uttered over him, and the Ruah of understanding and sanctification shall rest upon him. For he shall give the majesty of Yahuwah to his sons in truth forevermore, and there shall none succeed him for all generations forever. And in his priesthood the other nations shall be multiplied in knowledge upon the earth, and enlightened through the grace of Yahuwah. In his priesthood shall sin come to an end, and the Torahless shall cease to do evil, and the just shall rest in him. And he shall open the gates of paradise, and shall remove the threatening sword against Edom. And he shall give to the set-apart saints to eat from the tree of life, and the Ruah of holiness shall be upon them, and Baal shall be bound by him, and he shall give power to his children to tread upon the evil Ruahs. And Yahuwah shall rejoice in his children. He shall be well pleased in his beloved ones forever. Then shall Abram and Yitzchak and Jacob exult, and I will be glad, and all the set-apart saints shall clothe themselves with joy. And now, my children, you have heard all. Choose, therefore, for yourselves either the light or the darkness, either the Torah of Yahweh or the works of Baal. And his sons answered him, saying, Before Yahweh we will walk according to the Torah. And their father said unto them, Yahuwah is witness, and his messengers are witnesses, and ye are witnesses, and I am witness concerning the words of your mouth. And his sons said unto him, We are witnesses. And thus Leviy ceased commanding his sons, and he stretched out his feet on the bed, and was gathered to his fathers, after he had lived 137 years. And they laid upon him in the coffin, and afterwards they buried him Chevron with Abram and Yitzchak and Jacob. And once again says to his children, as Yahuwah says to all his children, Choose therefore yourselves in these last times, in this end day, light or darkness, either the Torah of Yahweh or the ways of the world and the works of the evil one. And all is set apart, elect, loving sons and daughters, say we will walk according to his Torah and stay in the way of Yahuwah. The Testament of the 12 Patriarchs. Testament of Leviy. Hallelujah.